and scene opens in the business district around the statue known as Silent Freedom. Um, this is the first time that Stefan has been here, has taken in this site, has been in the middle of this enormous power structure. I mean, the site of the buildings, the way traffic flows, both on foot and the way vehicle traffic flows is just. I mean, you can get a total sense for, massive amounts of commerce shifting, ebbing and flowing. Hoping that, perhaps his colleague, Mr. Rose, would, answer his message and actually meet with him tonight. He doesn't really expect too many specifics of the meeting, but maybe something productive, something other than his previous social interactions, specifically, around the Emerald Scorpion, around the Plimpton Diner. Just kind of takes a seat on the edge of the statue and sits and waits.
I come walking up towards the statue, see it, take in its significance, then spot Stefan and proceed over to him. Ah, Mr. Stefan Fiedler. I believe I got a message from you. How are you doing today?
Good. It is Braun Fiedler. But I will forgive.
I thought it was Stefan Braun Fiedler.
Braun Fiedler, yes. Yeah. It's not a problem. I'm not going to judge. I will not judge you. It's fine. No, I was hoping. I was hoping to discuss, some of the events, some of the things that were brought up with the meetings, or in the meeting at St. Christina's.
Ah, yes. I'm in the process of looking up a few things, trying to get leads, trails. Probably be doing more of that in the next couple of days. Why, do you have a case?
Not specifically.
We do have one.
He kind of looks around a little bit as we're standing in the middle of this, in a central location in the business district, seeing the people, and then he notices a street. Kind of looks like it's heading towards an area that's heavily lit, but there's enough shadow and not as many people. Perhaps they can start walking this way, and he points to that area.
Well, sure. Why not?
Less ears to hear things that should not be heard.
Of course. So, what's new with you?
Well, I'm assuming, and he kind of lowers the tone of his voice just a little bit to be tactful, mindful of what he's saying and who he's saying it around. You've been presumably gathering information about a lot of various people.
I try. I try. Gotta make note of everything I see and keeps me straight, keeps my thoughts there.
Have you been looking for any or any group specifically?
Uh, since the meeting, I do have a group I've been needing to look into. I just need to find out where they hang out.
Just since the meeting?
Uh, it's a recent group. Since then, I've just been trying to get my business card out and collect what information I can get. Though, if I recall correctly, looking through my notes, there was yes, a Maximilian Hardcastle. He had a kind of a vendetta. He might know some things.
Oh. Uh, it is possible that he may know something,
Uh,
but he is not the type to
to what?
give things away.
Oh,
And
but that,
the price would be presumably um, higher than you might want to pay.
but he gave me so much information that night.
What is it you are looking for?
Cases I need to solve them. I want to better this city, make it safer,
Well,
greater.
what I mean is, what is your current case? What group are you trying to find?
I have a couple of cases right now. A couple of for clients, confidential, of course. But I'm trying to see if I can find a certain group of people. If you remember from the meeting.
The group that our uh, matron mentioned.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Where are we walking to, anyways?
Toward the boardwalk. As we get closer, Stefan will basically like point towards like less populated, maybe presumably darker, quieter, because usually around areas like this there are those areas. Typically, they're farther down a beach.
Okay, okay.
You know, um, our hot-blooded cousins. Have you found any?
I haven't had the chance yet. I've been working on another case, but I'll be getting on it soon.
What if I told you that I confirmed meeting two of them?
That would be helpful. That would be helpful.
Seeing as you did not get the inside joke at Saint Christina's, I will come out and tell you. The man, me and Ashton met at the Plimpton.
At the Plimpton?
It
Alright.
was fun. And that is one Damien. The other Damien works at a club in the projects. I had the pleasure of meeting with him and an underdwelling cousin last night on a
Name of the club?
exploration. The Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. I'll have to visit there.
Two of our hot-blooded cousins. One is rather emotional, as our matron hinted at. The other is an automobile enthusiast.
Okay. I'll just kind of contemplate on my notebook. Aphrodite projects.
That is why I looked a little dirty. My jacket last night, my shirt was dirty last night. I ran into slight issue with some locals.
Alrighty.
Stefan just kind of, as he's walking, he starts thinking. Can't really tell what. It's not giving much away. At least not without like concerted effort. And he just continues toward that quiet area of the boardwalk. If Douglas, you would like to jump in with something, you may. Or blah. Oh god, the Tremere.
Again.
Oh.
So, my pen seems to be failing me.
Your what?
My pen, it seems to be failing me. Do you have a spare?
I usually carry at least one. Yes, I actually have two. He hands you the cheapest of the two. Looks like just a cheap, like, big style ballpoint disposable.
Let me go see if I can. I'll just start going up to people in the crowd. Do you have a pen I can borrow? Do you have a pen I can borrow?
As you're doing that, Stefan puts his hand on one of your shoulders and he just urges you to continue walking. Just, you're being too much of a nuisance, too obvious.
I'm sorry, I just...
Do you actually turn toward him at all? Like when he addresses you, do you actually turn and face him?
Yeah, sorry.
He kind of stops and like the crowd's there's no immediate crowd around right now. As you've been like walking for a bit, and he just kind of turns his gaze intently directly into your eyes, and says, just pretend that you have owned this pen for some time. Pretend that it is yours, that you know it, that it is familiar to you. Take a deep breath and close your eyes. counting backwards from 3 to yourself. And when you get to 1, open your eyes and look at the now familiar sight in your writing hand. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of a dirty whore.
Very well. Let's continue on. Maybe we could meet somebody on our walk. Perhaps. You never know. Plimpton Diner, the Emerald Scorpion. These all seem to be rather popular areas. What if
I am actually going to try a manipulation empathy to try. I believe that's actually the proper role that I need to try to do this. I'm gonna try. It's not really apparent to you unless you're like familiar with these kind of tactics, with this type of thing. But he's gonna try to like. He's basically making a suggestion. Actually, it's not empathy, but you know, it's okay. But that's actually what he's going to try to do. Let me see, and I believe even if this particular thing does not work, I believe the actual roll itself could work. It's actually just try mundane roll. No! Oh, but well, just a fail. So, yeah, after I say that, I kind of continue on walking, thinking that I've, did pretty good, not knowing.
Sir, Mr. Stefan, since we're trying to find out some more information, possibly, let's try the first location you said tonight. Let's try going to the Plimpton Diner.
It is not too far from the boardwalk. I actually have not seen this edge from the business district. I'd like to actually continue walking this way.
All right, let's go.
And then we can come around to the Plimpton.
All right, so Stefan and Seth Rose will walk along the boardwalk till we get to the Plimpton Diner. In which case, go inside, take a look around. I'm going to stare at the crowd inside the Plimpton Diner, see if I can see any light auras in the crowd. Why is it showing? Oh, it is.
1. You got a single.
It's a 8 difficulty, so.
Auspex 2.
Yeah. And I think that.
And it's generally not. It's one target unless you like over succeed. Generally.
Oh.
And at 1 success, you're going to see like one single predominant aura. One single predominant aura.
All right, so I don't see anything. Very well, let's just have a seat in the back of the corner.
What you do notice in that um, is you do actually notice one aura, um, a God, like an elated aura. Um, you notice one of the waitresses, because this is busy. There are quite a few people. Stefan points to a darker booth off to one side, like off to the left, where it's like darker, it's more dimly lit, and incidentally, that table is empty. He kind of points to that, and moves toward it. But as you're walking toward that, you notice a waitress that kind of looks. She kind of has a little bit of like a smile on her face, like something just made her day, or her night, I should say.
Alright. I'll just go over, take a seat, start just watching the crowd.
Also in the diner at this point is Sophia. She's sitting in a very well-lit booth by herself with a cold cup of coffee that she's been nursing for the past hour or so. And she's sketching in a sketchbook. She's not noticed you come in at all.
Stefan actually does kind of like motion for a waitress over, and he orders 2 cups of coffee, one for himself and one for Seth.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Not a problem. Within moments, 2 cups of coffee are brought back, prompt service. And as Stefan picks up his cup and brings it to his mouth, let's see if I can get away with this. Let's see if I can get away with this. Because he does not actually eat food, so this is a feint. Okay. He appears to be taking a drink of his coffee. Anybody who's like looking at him or at that moment or what have you can attempt, like if they think it's suspicious, they can try to perceive what's going on if there's any suspicion.
I will go ahead and say that another guest is in the diner at this time. You probably do not notice her because she is easily ignored. She is sitting in the back, not, making attention to yourself, and we'll go ahead and I'll roll her a perception alertness. Now, we'll do a wits alertness to see if she recognizes you.
Okay.
Because you don't know it, but she has seen you before.
Ooh.
And she does. She recognizes both of you, but she will go ahead and kind of duck down a little bit in her booth, kind of hiding herself from you guys for a bit. Continue.
I will actually, because I don't generally look in one direction. I'll kind of keep my eyes peeled around the diner. Like I'll kind of just scan. I like watching people sometimes. Oh, what the fuck is my perception? Yeah, perception alertness. I don't know if that's showing up for you, but looks like 3 successes.
What you looking for?
Just seeing who's about, seeing what people are doing.
Well, okay. Well, you'll see Miss Sophia over there drinking her coffee. You don't know who she is. You'll see another red-headed lady back in the corner. She looks really hunched down and kind of nervous. You'll see a what looks like an off-duty officer drinking coffee at the head diner too. Kind of, like there's a bar. He'll sit at the diner and be drinking coffee and having like breakfast at like 2. And then you'll also see like a couple of what looks like teenagers that just got out of the clubs and are trying to sober up by eating greasy foods. And that's what you will see.
When he kind of notices somebody kind of like hunched up, kind of ducking, he subconsciously he thinks, crap, way too pale, and his skin flushes.
Okay. Continue. She doesn't do anything. She just kind of crouches down in her booth.
Yeah, just one of those subconscious things.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Stefan, have you met Mr. Manuel? I think I met him here one time in this diner. Interesting fellow. Looks like he goes to clubs often. He wears, he's covered in leather.
Manual. The only person I've seen with that name usually wears sunglasses indoors and sun hat.
Yes, I believe that's the man.
Yes. Interesting dog named Spot.
Did you meet him here as well?
I did. Along with some other more charming individuals.
Charming? Oh, what's their name?
Well, a wonderful... actually an interesting businessman by the name of Marsh.
Marsh?
Yes, Marsh Shipping Company. Quite professional. The other man I am not at liberty to say.
It's rather suspicious of you.
No. More intelligent. You could only describe him in red.
A man in red. I met him before. Let's see. Was he a very large man?
Not too.
Speaks through the throat.
Perhaps.
Yes, I saw him once in the Emerald Scorpion.
I would not be surprised that he gets around.
Are you not gonna drink your coffee?
He occasionally like will take a sip. Did you? Oh, you looked in his cup or something?
I'm just
Or he hasn't taken a sip in a while.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, he picks up the cup. Oh, almost forgot. I do hate for it to get cold. And he goes to apparently take another sip. Well, much you can see. When he puts his cup down, he puts his hand over it to kind of keep the heat in. So, since I have presumably helped you with a nice little bit of information gathering, perhaps there is something you can do for me.
What is that?
I'm trying to find a good source of funding so that I can concentrate on artistic pursuits and other things. Don't have to worry about finances as much. I have been living on the cusp for quite a while.
I see. And you want me to find this for you?
If you catch sight of somebody, you overhear something, a good lead for patronage. Good patron of the arts is always something
Because if you're short,
my types need.
so alrighty. Because if you're short on cash, I mean, I can pay for this coffee, and I'll proceed to open up my wallet and pull out 20 and put it on the table.
No.
No, I insist. I insist.
This is on me.
I'll just leave that there then.
It is not for the immediate future,
I see.
but for later down the road.
Have you noticed anything unusual lately?
Other than the help last night and my little romps through the projects. Nothing.
Oh. Huh. Alrighty.
Business more or less as usual.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with?
When we eventually meet for our convention, I will need. I could use some assistance in moving a sculpture.
I believe I can help you with that.
I've been so busy with other things, I have not been able to look for a proper logistics crew. Small team.
I believe I can possibly rent a truck or something.
That would be appreciated. I just kind of sit back, look around the diner, see people coming, going. Probably see a couple people get sick and run to the bathroom.
Yeah, probably. Just so you know, I rolled this while you were talking. This is perception alertness with heightened senses activated. So this lady has been listening to your conversation the entire time. Of course, she's not going to reveal herself, but quite yet. But she'll kind of peek up a little bit for a moment and then kind of slink back down again, really nervous, like kind of just wondering what to do. You can roll perception alertness to see if you see her kind of like peeking up at you.
Let's see. And my eyes are going around the diner. Let's see what we got here. Standard, right?
Yeah. Oh, that you see her. You have 2 10s. You see her.
Yeah.
I see nothing.
I don't know. I don't know exactly. How you all use 10s, if they're just high successes or doubles. So.
10s are doubles if you have a specialty. If you don't, then they're just a success.
Okay.
But
I
mean,
awesome.
they're 10s, so chances are the difficulty has been met. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
My dear friend, you failed. You didn't botch, but you failed. So you didn't notice anything. You're completely oblivious, Mr. PI. And Miss Sophie, she'll notice the same kind of lady kind of peeking up and down too, but she doesn't. She has no context. She has no idea what's going on.
When Stefan notices that, he'll go to take another sip of his coffee. I better actually make a roll on this. because of how I'm doing this and what I'm doing. So Dex and what is it? Dex and
What are you doing?
subterfuge.
Um,
I'm basically feigning drinking coffee and keeping my hand over to presumably keep the heat in.
yeah, that'll work. That'll work. You got 2
So,
successes.
yep.
So you're fairly convincing, looking like you're drinking a coffee.
Yeah, with a flush of health.
Yeah.
And he takes a sip, and how loud is it in the diner at the moment?
It's depending on what time it is. Since it's kind of night, it's not that loud. Otherwise, she would be covering her ears right now, so it's
Yeah.
not that loud.
That's what I thought. I will do likewise with my own heightened senses.
Okay, what are you doing?
Keeping my sense or sharpening my senses.
Okay. You'll hear, you pretty much hear the fry cook frying right now with the heightened senses. It's particularly loud. You smell grease and oil pretty pronouncedly. And if you want to roll perception alertness, please. Difficulty will be standard 8, so it'll be difficulty 6.
Okay. Oh,
Now, where did
let me. I forgot.
where
to
does
clear,
one begin and the other
I
end?
forgot to clear my screen. I hate when I do that. Mein Gott!
What we got
Woo,
here?
nice. Looks like 3.
Okay. You can hear the lady in the booth fidgeting a lot. She's not saying anything, but she's definitely kind of moving nervously.
I don't turn my head specifically toward her.
Mm.
I just kind of, concentrate on what I'm doing at the moment, and kind of keeping my ear more to the grindstone than anything else. No, other than my previous request, no, if you could, if you catch ear, sight, or meet with somebody who would be a good prospective patron of the arts, somebody reasonable, not looking for a quick turnaround.
I think
That would be
I
good.
may not be the best person to ask, but I think I might know somebody you may be able to ask.
Or if you happen to run into a particular art gallery owner, I have not had very much luck over the years getting a hold of the person. So if you happen to run into her,
Well, I was going to
What
say,
is
I don't know the person personally, but the person is an author might be able to lead you to the right person, a Sherry Blanc.
one artist going to another for patronage is never a good idea.
I
Too much
did not know
competition.
that.
And she has her own dealings at the moment.
Well, I can keep an open ear for you, but art dealings are not my forte.
At that, he picks up his cup again to take another sip of coffee. You want me to make another roll, or
Nah.
okay, just go with the flow. Good.
Yeah.
After taking a sip, he lowers his cup, presumably without thinking about it. He gets up and he heads to the restroom, not setting the cup down. And only realizing it's still in hand when he's actually in the restroom. He walks into a stall that's empty, closes and locks it behind him, and nonchalantly dumps the coffee into the toilet, and then proceeds to apparently use it and then flush afterwards.
In the meanwhile, the red-haired girl will actually get up, and she will approach Seth, actually. And she'll kind of go up to him. She'll be like, "Hi."
How are you doing? Would you like a seat?
Yeah. And she'll kind of sit down, and she'll be like, "You guys were talking really loud. You should be careful. Celine would get mad if you keep talking like that."
Mad? I didn't mention anything in particular. Just maybe names.
Just in general, you should talk in quiet voices. But you're right. That's okay. I'm sorry. I saw you earlier. But I didn't introduce myself.
What's your name?
We can do that later. But I'm Mercy.
Mercy, alrighty. Well, Mercy, I'll hand you a business card. If you ever need my services, here's my card.
That's very nice of you. So what are you what are you doing?
Just sitting down, chatting, exchanging information.
With that guy?
Well, I mean, I haven't given him anything too important. He seems to be trying to find a dealer of sort for his art, and I don't have too many notes on him. I'm trying to find out more.
We don't know him very well. I mean, I know where you are from, and I know where I'm from. We don't know where he's from.
Yes, Mr. Peterson said roughly the same thing. Rather suspicious. Possibly I can find out more about him.
Oh, okay. But be careful, cause well, I don't want anything to happen to you. It would make Gideon sad.
I have a habit of being able to follow from a distance.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go now. And she'll like grab a napkin and write her number down. If you need to call me, you can. It's fine. Here. But don't give it to that guy.
Very well, very well. Thank you. I'll write down the number in my notebook and kind of dab the napkin into the coffee.
Okay. Bye. And she'll kind of just shyly get up and wave and walk away.
Thank you again, Mercy.
She's extremely awkward when she leaves too. She just really is a strange girl.
Let's see.
Does anybody actually enter the men's room while Stefan is in there?
No.
No. Okay. After by this time, he walks out, walks back to his seat, and sets his coffee cup down. Waitress comes over. He kind of puts his hand over it, seeming to have had enough.
Stefan, I have a question to ask you.
Go ahead.
Did you just take the coffee into the bathroom?
I forgot. Many people forget these things. It's not an uncommon occurrence.
Nah, I think that kind of is. But
No.
Flip to my pages.
A lot of people forget things before they go in someplace.
Well, don't worry, I've made note of it. Just try to remember next time. It's rather odd behavior.
Of course you have made a note.
While you're doing that, when you come back out of the bathroom, Sophia actually looks up for once and apparently does a really amazing perception check to notice you. And she's actually met you once before in the Emerald Scorpion. It was about a week ago, so she doesn't think you remember her, but she remembers you vaguely. And gives a little wave.
As I like turn after talking with the waitress, I see Sophia wave, and I motion for her to come over and sit.
Okay. She picks up a sketchbook and a bag and a cold cup of coffee and wanders over.
I
Hi. I don't know if you remember me. I'm Sophia. We met about a week ago at
oh
the Emerald
yes,
Scorpion.
yes.
It was only really quick.
Sophia, you say? I'm sorry,
Yes.
I'm Seth. Seth Rose. I'll hand
How
you
you
a card.
going?
Private investigator. In case you ever need my
thanks.
services.
I'll keep that in mind.
I did very much need that relaxing trip to that club. It was good to get out and just do whatever on the dance floor.
It was an interesting dance night, yes. Did you ever run into that crazy guy again? Whatever was Zach, I think was his name.
Oh, Mr. Beers. It kind of takes a moment. I've had so much on my mind since then, I seem to have forgotten.
No, that's okay. These things happen.
So, Sophia, what do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
I make jewelry.
Ah. Interesting profession.
Why are you writing that down?
I like to write notes that helps keep things straight up here. It's not a problem, is it?
No,
I mean,
no, I guess not.
do you have your own store? I mean, maybe I need jewelry in the future.
Online. I have an online store.
What kind of store?
Online.
Online.
Yep. I used to have a shop front, but it's a bit expensive for me at the moment, so online only.
Alright. Do you have a card or anything?
No, but I can give you my address, my web address, if you like.
Thank you.
Go ahead. She'll write it down for you.
And I'll transfer it to my notebook. Sorry for the interruption. Meeting between old friends.
If it's personal, I can leave. I don't know.
So, Stefan, from my overheard, you're somewhat of a dancer.
At times of stress, we all have to let go.
He really let go.
Is it
There was a lot of letting go happening.
interesting story?
An apparent thrill seeker. Many bears. Much dancing, much frolicking, much overall happiness. Good feelings that night. And as for your note-taking being a problem, no. Just makes you look obsessive or paranoid.
Well, you also gotta remember, some people are also not the best at names and everything, so.
It's not the way that you memorize. It's the frequency with which you do it.
Well,
Some people would be put off by all the obsessive, possibly paranoid questioning.
I just trying to get to know people.
That's fine.
Like Stefan,
I could recommend a book or two that I have read before. Tactics for better memory.
Stefan, you tell me more about yourself?
What is it to tell?
Well,
I moved to this country at age 9 after my father was killed in Germany. My mother could not get by in that country. She decided she needed a change of scenery. Start over after that. It's not a suspicious story.
True, rather typical. Well, I think I may go. I have a case for a couple of clients to possibly finish. I bid you farewell, sir. To you, Sophia.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
And if I happen to run into any more members of the group, I could keep you apprised.
If you could, that'd be very appreciated. Thank you.
Anything for close circles.
Yes. I bid you farewell.
And to you.
And I'll proceed to walk outside of the diner.
Kind of look over at Sophia, kind of scooting a little bit inward.
Mm-hmm.
An interesting sort he is. Every single time I run into him, he's always trying to scratch away in his notebook.
It's does seem to be a thing with him. It's a little bit disconcerting, I have to admit.
Isn't it, though? Especially when he suspects that everyone has something to hide.
Don't we all?
Not all of
That's
us.
why we're here.
I cannot speak for you or Mr. Rose, but I have nothing to hide.
Well, that's good, I suppose. So what are you up to tonight?
Oh, met with Seth, discussing some personal business. I wanted to get out and see the boardwalk, and ended up here as it's very close. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. God, it's the sound of Legend of Zelda. My God. Other than that, not too much. Still,
It's a quiet night.
still working with my landlords, who own the restaurant below my studio apartment.
What's the problem with them?
The same as everyone. Finances. Always having to juggle.
It is a bit of an issue, yes. I
Hmm.
know that feeling.
But I manage to do what I can. I make small pieces. The last couple few that I sold in that little diner. Not much. Mom and pop place. Quaint.
Small pieces of what you actually make.
A small bus, about 8 inches tall.
Oh, okay. And what do you reckon?
One of the most notable was a bust of who was that American general? Patton.
What do you reckon? Patterns? And what materials do you reckon?
That was simple. It was claystone, cheap.
Yep.
But
Is there much of a market for that around here?
good piece. Good piece. I have contacts, business contacts for my materials. I know where to look. Takes an
Okay.
eye.
Yeah.
But
Sounds interesting.
it makes some money for to keep the bill collectors at bay and get closer to catching up.
Sounds good. I don't think I would have ever pegged you for being the creative type, though.
Who? Me?
You. Yeah.
uh, too much of an academic, you think I am? Huh?
I think so. Yeah.
That happens when you study for a master's.
That would probably do it. Yes. And did you do that here in the States or somewhere else?
New York.
In New York. Okay.
Yeah. 8 years. Majored in art, primarily medium was sculpting, with a minor in sciences, mostly in medical sciences.
That's an interesting mix.
I like proportion, proper proportion.
That does make sense now that you explain it that way.
I suppose if I really wanted to solve my financial issues, I could maybe find a community college here and study to be a RN.
Did you really want to do that, though?
It would be interesting. And rewarding.
That's fair. A lot of contact, though. You have to really work to keep up appearances.
A lot of night shifts.
Hmm. Sophia looks around to see who else is in the room. If there is anyone else in the room.
Okay. I hate this typing. I kind of do the same. And kind of shifting my seat a little bit. You know, like I've been sitting too long. Damn benches! So what have you been up to?
Not a whole heap, actually. I actually haven't been out for a couple of nights. Been busy back at home. But yeah, just working on some pieces myself, getting stuff sorted out. I'm still only relatively new to this, so things have to be figured out, and it takes a little while to do it.
Ah, hard at work for study, I assume.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm actually gonna roll a perception empathy to try to gauge your like apparent motive, apparent like state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I believe that's a standard difficulty. So, 2 successes. Unless you wish to, unless you're trying to conceal something, then you
She's
can
not
make
trying to conceal anything.
opposed.
She's got no motive. She pretty much knows no one. She's a bit lonely and felt like going out and not doing her usual thing in a room all night like she usually does.
Oh, okay. Trying to get the trying to shake the cabin fever.
Pretty much.
Ah, okay.
It's
Kind of.
kind of rare
look,
for her to be out on her own. So.
I look satisfied as my eyes go from her to the rest of the diner and then just kind of off. That is good to hear. He kind of he looks at his wrist. Oh, my! Almost forgot I lost my watch last night.
Oh, if you need the time.
Kind of lowers his voice, leans in a little bit. I was robbed, not for much.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine. It's fine. It happens
Did
in a
anything-
big city. But he
Did
kind of
anything bad happen? Did anything bad happen?
No.
Okay, well, that's good.
I was very fortunate to be able to talk them down after they got a mere $40 and the wristwatch from me. Very fortunate.
Yeah. Did you
He-
figure out who it was, or was it just like I don't know,
Random-
local idiots? Or...
Random punks. I was seeing areas of the city, and that is the risk you take.
Yes, it is. You have to be careful, even now.
His eyes kind of go from his wrist and then up to a clock on the wall, and he notices that it's getting a bit late, and he seems like he has other things on his mind. Though I do hate to bounce early, but I must be going. I have so much to take care of. But it was a pleasure to see you again.
It was nice to see you too. I'll let you go then.
I get up and head out. Stefan starts walking back toward the boardwalk a little bit, and then after a little bit gets out of sight. This is where he is going to kind of, he's going to get off the streets and out of sight, mostly, like probably eventually taking some like alleyways here and there, basically trying to look for non-human sustenance.
A unseen presence will follow Mr. Stefan.
Well, Sophia will stay in the diner and she'll pull out her sketchbook again, push all of the dirty cups to the other side along with the 20 that was left on the table, and continue sketching.
I actually think a 6 is adequate for. I actually think a 6 is adequate for. What is it? Survival hunting, or for stamina survival, which is just stamina for me. So presumably it takes me quite a while. The presence that's following sees him go through some alleyways in the business district. Not the most dangerous places, but they're kind of crowded here and there. Some of them are narrow, some are wider, some have trucks moving through them. But he seems to be moving cautiously, slowly, and definitely not attracting attention. Let me see. At this point, oh shit, I forgot to clear it. Go ahead and make a perception alertness.
Are you trying to perceive me?
No. You make a perception alertness.
Oh.
Let me see. That's 2 successes to my 3 successes. He goes around a corner. Looks like he's following something.
What's the difficulty?
I got 3 successes.
Oh.
Figure 2. He goes around a corner. He seems to be following something. He's been following something for a while. Like, you haven't clearly seen what he's following, but like a couple shadows here and there. It doesn't look like a person. You'd be guessing like maybe an animal or something, like a stray animal. This is a big city. You can find them all over. But when you get around the corner, you don't see him. You lose him.
Alrighty.
Do you? What do you do from there?
I don't know how I lost you.
Higher successes on my stealth roll.
Alrighty.
Did you want to try? Did you want to try another like a concerted search? You can do that.
No, I'll find you another day.
Okay. No, I just you have the option. You have the
Well,
option. So.
No, I'll find you another day.
Okay. Stefan doesn't know what to think when he sees Seth, presumably like having followed him, but he thinks nothing of it. Seth leaves around a corner. Stefan resumes what he was doing, and eventually, in a side notch, he eventually catches his prey and nabs the cat he was following after a couple hours of careful hunting. Upon draining the animal, he licks the wound to conceal the bite marks and places the carcass underneath quite a few bags in a dumpster. He kind of makes sure that he fed clean enough so he doesn't give anything away, and continues home to his studio apartment. And the scene at that point closes.